Rice cakes, good source of carbohydrates here, but because they're puffed rice, even though it's brown rice, it still doesn't contain that whole grain that I spoke about earlier. So therefore it's a higher glycemic carbohydrate, higher than the oats that we had in the protein pancake, higher than the brown rice, the whole wheat bread, even whole wheat pasta to a degree, and the yam. So it's not the best source of protein, but for a snack in what we're having here, great for after a workout or in between a long period of time before you're able to eat a bigger meal again. It's a good source of carbohydrate, and you know, other than a yam, you're not really going to get much better quickly than rice cakes. You can eat them on the go, you can keep them in your bag at the gym, in the car, at the office. They're a great quick source of carbohydrate. They're not a bad source, put it that way. Mentioned peanut butter earlier. One step up from that is almond butter. Less fat, less calories, actually a higher protein intake. So almond butter tastes great, especially when you put it in the fridge and it kind of goes hard, and if you get a spoonful, you're not going to eat it as quickly as though keeping it in the cupboard when it's more soluble and you can actually stir it, and you find you eat a lot more. So the harder it is, remember, the harder something is, A, it's going to take you more time to eat, chew and digest, and secondly, not so much with the bonded chains here, but again with that time taken to digest the food and eat it, it just increases that time so that the body is not going to absorb too many calories too quickly. So we have almond butter there. Have a plate. Banana, good source of complex carbohydrate here. Now, an interesting point about fruit is the darker this goes, and you know, people say the banana is starting to spoil and go rotten, the simpler the sugar becomes. So maybe after a workout, you want to have more of an older banana. Sounds weird, but if you mash it up and put it in a protein shake, you have a really good blend mixture of proteins and a simpler form of carbohydrate from the fruit, fructose, which is fruit sugar. So I'm going to open this, get myself a clean knife. I'm just going to have half here. I'm going to cut it up and leave it for there. And again, this can go in my Tupperware box and back in the fridge, because if you keep it cool, it will last longer. Now, rice cakes, these ones in particular, not too thin. You can get thin ones, but these have about 18 grams of carbohydrate per rice cake. So that's about just under 3. Let's call it 3 for now. 3 rice cakes to get our serving of carbohydrate for the meal. And I said earlier, peanut butter and almond butter, same thing really. 2 tablespoons has approximately 200 calories. Now if we have a look on the back, just to run through, 2 tablespoons, 190 calories, there we go. Total fat, 17 grams. Well, that's a lot higher than we said our meal per meal serving of fat should be. What about carbohydrates? 7, so we have a little bit in there, so we would need to subtract that from the amount we get from our rice cakes if you want to stick to the plan. And protein, 6 grams, so it has the least amount of protein in there. However, I said this was more of a snack, and if you want, you can supplement it with a supplement, a drink, a protein shake, which we have here. So I could have pretty much clean whey protein in a shake, mix it up with some ice, not too much water, make it thicker like a malt shake. Not a milkshake, a malt shake. I want to use water because adding milk, mentioned in the grocery store, milk is not for humans and should not be consumed under any circumstance unless you're a growing infant or a baby foal, in which case milk is good for you. This is where the fun bit comes. I'm only going to make 1 here, because if I make 3, I'm going to eat all 3. Almond butter. Now the trick is to be able to spread the peanut butter or the almond butter on the rice cake without it breaking. That takes many years of practice. Or if you hold the rice cake down on the plate, instead of holding it like that and pressing down, that can also work sometimes. I'm going to get a clean knife and chop the banana up. Be creative here. If you're making it for someone, make a little smiley face, or I just like making like domino cards out of them because I play with my food. But You get the idea, I think. Banana goes on the peanut butter on the brown rice cake. Where's our cinnamon? Thermogenic spice flavor. Sprinkle that on, don't be shy. Cover the banana. Use my hands here. Look at that for a treat. Protein, fats, carbohydrates, taste. It's incredible. What shall I call this? This is a rich biscuit. This is a rich biscuit. Almond butter, banana and cinnamon on a flat brown rice cake. Wow, you get your friends trying these, they will soon want to know everything that you're eating so they can start to look like you. I'm gonna put that to one side and quickly show you the last meal that we would have at the end of the day.